Hello everyone. Today I am going to present the cervical cancer screening project to encourage CALD people to come and undertake the first cervical cancer screening. Let's start with the related trends from Euromonitor. Safety obsessed indicates that people are becoming more health conscious because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Therefore, this is an opportunity for the business as the business is in the health industry. And then, playing with time shows that people want to make the most use of their time and have a flexible schedule. This is challenging for the company, as people say the time poor problem is one of the problems for them that stops them from coming and get tested. This is the example of the persona. Diana is a 25 years old bartender. Her goal is to have a healthy life now and in the future. The pain points that stop Diana from participating are unpleasant feelings, language barrier, lack of knowledge, and time poor. This is important information gathered from the interview. The interviewee said that for the first time of getting tested, the unpleasant feelings were the main factors that stopped her from participating. However, when she experienced the screening herself, she found that it was not that painful and scary as expected. So, when she had to have her second or third screening, there was no unpleasant feelings anymore. So, it can be seen that the best way to eliminate the unpleasant feelings is to convince them to undertake the first screening. So, the problem statement is that how might we encourage the CALD people to undertake the first cervical cancer screening? In order to encourage the CALD people to undertake the screening, these are service design principles around the concepts, and they were created based on pain points identified in the assessment 1. First, it has to be easy for non-English speakers. Most CALD people do not use English as the first language. Therefore, the service has to make sure that the languages will not be a problem for them. Second, privacy and safety. When it comes to health, especially cervical cancer screening, safety and privacy are important. Third, time poor was one of the problems identified in the assessment 1. So, the service should have minimal impact on the patient's time. Last thing is efficiency. The service needs to ensure that it will be as efficient as people undertake the screening at GPs. Let's talk about the concepts of the service. The first concept is to introduce a new, fresh, and well-organized event for cervical cancer screening. The purpose of the event is to encourage the CALD people to come and get screened by providing the best resources to them to eliminate their pain points. At the event, there will be translators in many languages. All tools will be provided, and the event will be held at the weekend or the public holidays. However, this concept has too many weaknesses. First, it requires a huge investment to create an entire event and hire translators in many languages at the same time. Second, it does not guarantee that people will come to the event. Third, to reach the expected number of participants, the company will need to repeat the event many times, as there will be limited space and time for each event. Therefore, I came up with a new concept, and this one is the recommended concept. The concept is to partner or cooperate with the national festival or events. I recommend the company to have an area in every national festival in Queensland that people can come and participate in cervical cancer screening. The inspiration of the concept came from blood donation in Thailand. So in Thailand, when there is a festival, there will be an area for people to come and donate their blood, and this method is very successful in Thailand. The process of blood donation and cervical cancer screening have something in common. For example, the process itself is straightforward. However, there are still fewer people coming than expected. Therefore, instead of waiting for them to come, we should go to them like Thailand does to get people to donate their blood. Why is this the best prototype? It will be lower cost and easier to organize compared with the first prototype. For example, If we are partnering with a Thai national festival, the only translators we need are Thai translators. Second, it does not mess up with patients' time. For the first service prototype, the patients who come to the event will need to sacrifice their time to come. Therefore, people with time-poor problem will not come to the event. However, for the recommended service prototype, people do not need to sacrifice their time to undertake the screening, as coming to the festival is their main objective. This is the storyboard of the recommended service prototype. Stage 1. The patient is going to the festival with her friends. Then, after arriving at the festival, they see the screening area, as the patient's goal is to have a healthy life, so she's interested with the service. She decides to talk to the staff about getting tested. After that, the staff brings her inside in the mobile health van so that she can get tested in a safe and private area with a high medical standards. After finishing, she goes back and enjoys the festival with her friends. This is the service blueprint to show the front stage and backstage activities for the prototype. The service prototype was created around these innovation principles. This service also responds to the ethical and legal considerations. For example, the mobile health vans will be used to ensure that the patients will get screened in the private and safe place with high medical standards. The service will be held in national events so that it would be easy for the company to adapt the service based on the different cultures. Also, the service is designed to help the communities by giving people in the communities a chance to get access to the health services. For feasibility, the company can reduce the cost by making use of the existing resources of the company. For example, the mobile health van and the health workers. However, there will be the extra cost that company will need to consider. First, the translators. The expected cost of hiring translators will be about $294. Then, even though the company will use their own health workers in the event, they might need some extra workers at the peak time. The expected cost of hiring 2 more workers will be about $185. Also, the company will need to pay for the event organizer, as they are going to use some areas in the event. The expected fee of using the area will be about $396. So, in total, the expected cost of operating the recommended service prototype will be about $876 per event. Viability. The services prototype fits the purpose and the strategic plan of the organization as follows. For desirability, as talking to the interviewee, she said, the service innovation prototype would help to solve the user problems. It helps solve the language barrier by providing translators. It solves the time-poor problem, as patient does not have to choose between going to the festival or having screened. It also reduces the embarrassment, as the interviewee said she would feel less embarrassed when she sees that everyone is getting screened, so it is common to do so. There is a risk that the area will be too small for the vans. Therefore, the company should have the vans ready near the place and have a booth or tent that can help people with information and guide them to the vans. Also, there could be the risk that people will not be interested. Still, the company can use the area to educate people and give more information, or encourage them to do the test or book an appointment with their GPs. This is the end of the presentation. Thank you for listening.